Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rant Booth, exclusively on a2dradio.com. Make sure you turn those notifications on, hit that like button, subscribe to our station so you don't miss anything here on the Rant Booth and all of our other shows here on A2D Radio. As always, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, and Instagram. If you miss anything here on A2D Radio, download us wherever you get your favorite podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. No reason to miss a thing here on A2D Radio. We're live here at the Ramp Booth, live at all campus on the Ocean City Boardwalk between 10th and 11th Street. Come on in, say your piece. We got a lot of Phillies talk today. We got some NBA Finals talk lined up. We got some Sixers off-season talk lined up, kind of dust settled. I'm not mad anymore, so I feel like I can logically discuss the Philadelphia 76ers in an intelligent manner and what this basketball team can do to get themselves potentially to the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat level, and God forbid make an Eastern Conference Finals after losing for so many years for so long. And the NHL playoffs, they're locked, loaded. Rangers play this afternoon, looking to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. As always, we're brought to you by All Campus here on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Come on in, rant with us, say your piece, buy a hat, become an A2D member, get 20% off, become an A2D member, follow the link in the bio, $9.99 a month, gets you 20% off here at All Campus. It also gets you gambling selections from the Money Pop podcast, which just went off the air, as well as Willie Vegas, and you get other perks as well, including special shout-outs, giveaways, things of that nature. So it's well worth the $9.99. Pay that rent. Pay that rent with our gambling picks. I've matured so much as a gambler, even in the time that we've met you.
Right.
Like, I'm at the point now where, like, I don't do one-star plays anymore. It's either a 5-star hammer play or I'm not putting my money in. I had 2 over Memorial. Fortunately, we couldn't do shows. Johnny a little under the weather, out of town doing some other things on Memorial Day. So the Sports Hounds didn't go as well. Sports Hounds will be back tomorrow, 7 Eastern, here on A2D Radio. But, yeah, I hammered the Celtics in Game 7, took a money line, and then I hammered the Rangers in their Game 7 as well. So I'm flush with cash right now. So, I mean, I'm not going to – I don't really think I can classify any regular season baseball game as a hammer play. I was close to hammering the Phillies on first game after, Rob Thompson. I guess the lead singer of Matchbox 20 is our new manager. He's got nowhere to go but up because Joe Girardi was terrible. That brings us to our poll question. Once again, brought to you by All Campus here on between 10th and 11th Street on the Ocean City Boardwalk. The Phillies were correct in firing Joe Girardi. This is an easy agree. You can't fire 25, 30 players, especially making the type of money that these players are making. Right. This team was underachieving. Got to fire the manager. You got to salvage the season somehow. You got to try at least. So Joe was terrible. John, I know you have a couple. You had a breaking point recently, but it's a strong agree from me. But, like, it's the fundamental mistakes that were being made by this baseball team. And that starts at the top. That's setting a culture. We talk about it in sports all the time. You got to have the manager. He can influence a game moderately in baseball. But, like, if the players don't respect you and the players aren't listening to you, you're not going to get anything done. I mean, you had gut-wrenching loss after gut-wrenching loss. I mean, we had a guy drop a fly ball. But to lose the game in Atlanta. Then the very next night, you have Dansby Swanson score from first on a pass ball like it's an 8-year-old Little League game. It's ridiculous. You blew a 7-run lead to the Mets on Cinco de Mayo. I mean, those are 3 losses right there that just destroy your baseball team. Bryce isn't going anywhere. Schwarber's not going anywhere. JT's not going anywhere. Castellanos isn't going anywhere. Wheeler, Nola, not going anywhere. Reese, most likely not going anywhere. And, John, that brings me to Gene Segura, who's now out for 12 weeks because he broke his index finger.
And that's depending if everything goes well with his rehab after the surgery.
Right. So that's 10 to 12 weeks. Like then you got to do rehab and
the finger lines up properly, all that.
You got to take swings in the cage. Then you got to go to the minors and do rehab. So this is like maybe like a 16-week injury, really.
Right. Could be over
And
a 3-month injury. Yes.
the manner in which Gene Segura was injured, it was just bad baseball.
Pisses me off more than anything else in the world. Not because of the play and he got hurt by the bunt. I understand that happened. It was the situation that Joe Girardi put him in. Never, ever should have been bunted. I don't understand it. It's the stupidest baseball play. I was telling Rob a little bit about it earlier. Man on first, bottom of the 7th inning, tied 3-3 game. Schwarber on first. Gene's coming up. Bryce Harper's behind him. Why are you sacrificing anyway? In the bottom of the 7th inning, you're sacrificing, and let's say you do get it down. All you're doing is taking the bat out of Bryce Harper's hands because they're going to intentionally walk him.
Oh.
It's the stupidest baseball play. And then to have that happen, and then your number one hitter, your best hitter, gets hurt. That was the moment where I said, Joe Girardi's got to go. He's got to go today. He needs to be gone.
But it's binder baseball, night in, night out. How about when he Moniak, who Tom Arnone preaches to the choir, like I'm not trying to yo-yo Stott and Moniak. Stick him in there, let him play, see what you got.
They need a year. Just give them a whole year. See what happens.
I've seen Didi, I've seen Herrera. They're not very good, and stop yo-yoing them. Let them play. So Moniak's up, and he pinch hits him.
Yep.
Right, and that's fine. Okay, but you put in Herrera, who's also a lefty, and there's no point of it. And Herrera grounds into a double play, and the inning's over anyway.
Yep.
Moniak could have easily done that, and you get him
faster, so he could have avoided a double play easier.
And you get him an at bat in a clutch spot, which what he needs to develop.
Right.
So, and Joe doesn't like young guys. And Joe gets stuck in his ways with his binder, like Nick Nelson gets run out there all the time because he was in New York. That's the only reason Nick Nelson's even on this roster is because he was with Joe Girardi in New York, and they won a lot of games there, and he's comfortable with him, even though he stinks. How about a couple nights ago, the one I think it was the Giants series where he puts Familia in, which they keep running out there, which why Janurius Familia is even on this baseball team instead of Hector Neris is just still beyond me. That's on Dombrowski, though. Whether Joe had a say in that, I doubt he did. But if he did, shame on him as well. That's a Dombrowski move because there's absolutely no reason Hector Neris shouldn't be on this baseball team pitching the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th inning. He can't close.
Right.
We get that. But there's other spots, high leverage spots, you can use a guy like Hector Neris. And guess what? He's an all-star caliber setup man in Houston. All of a sudden, because they use him right. So that pisses me off in its own right. But then Familia, he's not covering first on a ground ball to the left side of the infield.
Right.
And it leads to a loss. If you have a guy, if it's a ground ball to the left side of the infield, automatically you should be moving towards first, whether they need you there or not. You should be breaking to first base. So the lackadaisical fundamental mistakes that this baseball team was making over the first 50 games of the season, it was unacceptable. And it's unfortunate that it has to fall on one guy because there's plenty of blame to go around on this team. Plenty of blame. They flat out stunk so far. And dare I say a winning streak is upon this team?
No.
The Angels stink too.
Well, I mean, Angels are still a playoff team. So
not anymore. They've lost 10 straight.
I think they still hold the second wild card spot.
So now all of a sudden you get Girardi out of here. What's his name? Rob Thompson?
Yep.
Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 steps in, and everyone can hit. You're scoring 7 runs, 10 runs. You're blowing teams out. Wheeler's pitching good. Eflin pitched a gem.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why these idiots just couldn't have done that in the first place, and then we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with. But be that as it may, we have a new era. We have a new manager. And that leads me to my next question, John, is can this team make a run at one of these wild card spots or the division.
Yeah, listen, I know what the big saying around here is it's early and everyone wants to poo-poo that, but in reality, it is early. I mean, it's only, 55 games into the season?
That's kind of a lot, though. I'm done with the early talk.
You still got over 100 games. If you win, 62%, 63% of them, you're there. You're in the mix, and that's a reality that can happen. You can start winning series. You can start taking 2 out of 3s. It's not like a complete shot in the dark. We could do it.
Yeah, this is a big month for this baseball team.
Yes.
Like I'm at if you're 500 at July 4th, our next big holiday of the summer,
you got a chance.
I can get on board and with the extra wild card, and you can make something happen. Because I'm and this is a big month for Kyle Schwarber. I've been extremely critical of Kyle Schwarber throughout the whole season because you pay him $20 million and everyone's all excited, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Nothing on the back of his baseball card indicates that he's a $20 million player in this league. So this is a big month for him. He was the player of the month in June last year, and he's off to a great start this June. So if he starts playing like a $20 million player, starting pitching has been really, I wouldn't say really good, but really good. Wheeler and Nola have been good. I love Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson is a professional pitcher.
Yes, he
is he a Cy Young candidate? No, but he goes out there. He tries his best. He's always prepared. He's professional. Yeah, you like the Orioles?
I love the Orioles. Yeah, Adley Rushman. We got Gray Rod coming up. He's going to be the man.
He just got hurt, though.
Well, they get hurt when they're young.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Yeah, I was at the Orioles game once, and they lost 30-3.
That was probably in the last 4 years, am I right?
I think it was 06.
You guys just got rid of Girardi.
We love the Phillies.
Yeah.
We love getting rid of Girardi.
He stinks.
Love it.
He stinks.
It's time to go.
Right, you guys don't like New York anyway, so why would you?
I don't have a problem with the Yankees. I don't like the Mets.
Who?
Mike Schmidt, get him over there.
No,
He can't manage. He's good. He's good guy. He's good. These top tier players.
We're okay right now.
Yeah. Matchbox 20, Rob Thompson. Yeah. No, I like. You're coming. You're coming. You're coming though.
1983 we were with.
Yeah, we got ranters. We got people buzzing. Come on down, see us, buy some hats, get 20% off, be an A2D member. Yeah, John, I was at the Orioles game. I think it was 06. So it was like right before Machado and Adam Jones, and they went to the playoffs a couple of years. They lost 30-3 to the Texas Rangers. 30-3. Unbelievable. But yeah, we got some. So getting back to Schwarber, this is a big month for him. You got to show me you're at least some semblance of a $20 million baseball player in the month of June.
And it does look like he's kind of turning the corner. He's back over the Mendoza line finally. He's hitting bombs.
That's the standards we set. Is it for a $20 million player? Is the freaking Mendoza line?
First, but he's there, and it does look like he's turning the corner, right? It doesn't look like he's missing the fastballs anymore. It looks like he's kind of on the pitches now.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna have. I think my man Matchbox 20, Rob Thompson, is gonna set it and forget it, kind of with this lineup.
That's what Joe Girardi
and that he changed it every day. It was brutal. So it looks like Schwarber's going to be leading off. Love it, hate it. I don't really like it, but whatever. If he's going to be the player of the month like he was last June, that's fine. Okay,
right.
And then you're gonna. It looks like he's settling Reese there in the 2-hole, which I don't like at all. But you got what you got. I wouldn't build this baseball team. If I build this baseball team, Starling Marte would be my center fielder. I would have overpaid for him, and he would have hit leadoff. He would hit leadoff. But I mean, they didn't ask him. Unfortunately, Dave Dombrowski didn't ask for me, and I give Dave Dombrowski a lot of credit because he said Joe was safe, and then he was around the team. He's a great baseball man. He read the room, which nobody really does these days. They just look at their computer and their stats and their analytics and be a bunch of dorks and nerds about it. He read the room and was like, oh, wow, our baseball team, they need a new voice. I got to get rid of this guy. And he did.
And I don't even think it's a new voice, right? You said it in the beginning. You got to set a culture. And I don't think they set a culture when you change players, you change their designation of what they're supposed to do in the game. That doesn't work for baseball. Baseball players are creatures of habit. They know what their role is. They know what they do every day. That's how baseball players work. And Joe was just changing that, changing the lineup, changing the bullpen rotation. You can't do that to baseball players.
Wayne Miller, he's in the chat, checking us out on YouTube. Welcome, Wayne. He agrees to the poll, so it's time for Girardi to go. Like, if you don't think it was time for Joe Girardi to go, like, you can't, like we said, read the room.
You don't know baseball. Yeah, you don't know baseball. Joe Girardi is a great coach. I'm not taking coaching away from him. I just don't think he's a good coach for this organization. He needs to go to a top-tier organization that has multiple wins, like the Yankees.
Well, he got got sick of him there, winning 100 games and going to the ALCS. So it just shows how fed up they were with him there.
They have a different culture than what we do. I would love to have 100 games and go to the NLCS every year.
But it clearly wasn't because of Joe Girardi.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Like, he's got Aaron Judge, he's got Gleyber Torres, they got an embarrassment of riches. Like, 3 of their 5 guys were Cy Young candidates. And then he was the manager in 2009 there, right? Yeah, they went out and they bought Teixeira, they bought Sabathia, they bought Burnett, and they bought themselves a championship. They spent money wisely, which this baseball team hasn't done yet.
Well, we've spent money, just haven't done it wisely, maybe.
Yeah, so stupid money meant spending a bunch of money unwisely, not spending an exorbitant amount of money and winning baseball games like the Dodgers do. So maybe we were just confused on Mr. Middleton's comments.
Yeah, I mean, the stupid should have been the money part, not the brains of it.
Yeah. Castellanos needs to sell or move out of Ben's old house. He has sucked since he bought it. Remove the stink. Yeah, Castellanos. Yeah.
I just saw that stat. He's batting under 200 since purchasing Ben Simmons' old house.
Just, can we get away from this guy?
Yeah,
I mean, holy smokes. It's like, and all these guys, and it's not even like he just haunts us because, like, there's just a stench of Ben Simmons. Now, I guess throughout the entire city, on all the teams. But yeah, he moves into Ben Simmons' house and he goes in the dumpster. But I am confident that Nick Castellanos is going to get his numbers.
He's a professional hitter. I'm not worried about him.
He's going to get his numbers. He's going to be fine. JT Realmuto, he smoked a double last night in the part I was watching. And, like, I wavered a little bit, but I've been, for the most part, in the camp of JT's going to get his numbers as well, at least at the plate. Now, we can talk about how he calls the game and how he frames pitches and his defense. That's a separate argument, but I think he's going to get his offensive numbers. And then, you have Bomer, and I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He makes an error. He's like, oh, man, I kind of hate it here. And everyone gets on him. He says he's sorry. He goes on a tear at the plate.
Right. He owned it and took care of it.
He almost makes an error last night. He goes over the pitcher. Yo, did you see that? Like, I almost booted that, but I didn't. Like, I love that. I love the transparency of it.
Eats a bat to the face after he strikes out.
Yeah, right? So, like, and I love him down in the lineup. I don't like him in the 2-hole. I like him just being able to just sit back in the 6-hole, get some fastballs after Bryce and the 4-hitter and the 5-hitter, which looks like it's going to be Castellanos and Realmuto from here out, because we actually have a uniform lineup for a change. So, and he's going to get a lot of fastballs there. And not that you're not going to get fastballs in the 2-hole, but, like, I want him because he's a power bat.
No, all you need to worry about for him is driving in runs.
So I want him. Well, you're gonna in the 2-hole. You don't have guys on base. Correct. Unless the leadoff guy gets on, which Kyle Schwarber doesn't do consistently.
Yeah, he's not going to be in a scoring position if he does get on anyway.
Yeah, Jake Friel, easiest degree of all time. I mean, I've seen a little bit, and I don't know if it's trolling out there on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot that say, "Oh, you can't fire a manager 2 months in." Like, you need to take everything on a case-by-case basis. Do I like changing the manager 2 months into the season? Absolutely not. It's embarrassing. It's not a good look for your organization. Bad organizations do that.
Right.
But, like, getting back to it, the Phillies have been in business for 130 years. They've only been in the playoffs 14 times.
Only won twice.
only won twice. I guarantee you, if my family took over, like I took over, and then like my son and his son, and down the line for the next 114 years, I guarantee you that the Phillies would win more than 2 championships. I guarantee it.
I would hope so.
They would definitely be in the playoffs more than 14 times.
Yeah, especially now with the extended playoff lineup that they put out there. You got another spot out there for the playoffs. We should be making a lot more than what we are. I think we have the second longest drought in Major League Baseball right now with 10 years.
Right. Seattle hasn't made it, and I think it's the Rockies.
I'm not 100% sure who's
the Seattle's the Phil. I think it's the Phillies, the Rockies, and Seattle. No playoffs. Like even like butthole teams like the Orioles, who we just talked about with our man there.
Like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh have made it.
Pittsburgh's made it. They made it with Kutch when he was doing his thing there, winning MVPs. The Reds had Votto and all kinds of guys because they were in it. They were in it in 12 when Halladay, or 11, 10. Yeah, because Roy Halladay threw the no-hitter against them in his first playoff game. That was against the Reds. So they've been in it. I don't know if they've been in it after that. Maybe they're the other team, not the Rockies. But I don't remember the Rockies being in since 07.
I can't remember them being in it either.
Well, no, because they have made it. They have made it because remember they played
Giants, right? The Giants won the World Series that year. They beat them in the NLCS.
Did they? Well, I remember they were in a playoff, a 1-game playoff for the Wild. Remember Matt Holliday slid and he still hasn't touched the plate to this day, and they called him. So that was more recent than when they beat the Phillies in 07 and lost in the World Series. But yeah, that's what we're up against. That's the kind of drought that and the common denominator in the teams that haven't made it. The teams that don't make it don't spend money. Phillies spend money.
A lot of money.
They just do it stupidly.
Right now, in payroll?
They are over the luxury tax. They are over the luxury tax. Jake Friel, yeah, easiest degree of all time. And like I don't know if it's trolling people who say that just to get back to that, but I mean you can't just pound your head against that wood barrier we got next to us for the rest of the season.
If we were Pittsburgh or if we were Colorado or Cincinnati or something like that, I get it. Okay, fine. You let your coaches finish out the year and then maybe you make a change. But when you're the 4th highest payroll, you're over the luxury tax, it's a must win. It's must win. And you do whatever you can to start getting W's. And right now, it was change the coach. It was the only move that we had.
John's mic isn't working.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. We're trying to fiddle with it.
We do what we can. You got to be able to hear. We got nothing out of you. We got to have something. Well, whatever. They'll just hear me talk.
There you go. Let me go change the mic. Let me go see if I can work. I'm going to mute myself. I'll be right back.
But, yeah. And then you get to the postseason talk. I mean, let's look at the standing. I mean, like you're, 8 games out of a wild card? You have 3 wild cards. For you to have a $200 million payroll and not be able to be in the top 7 in the National League, that's pathetic. So, like, I do think whether they make it or not, I don't know. That's going to be up to the players now. You already changed the manager so that you don't have that crutch to lean on. So now it's got to be your $20 million guys. Nolan Wheeler have been good. Schwarber, hopefully you can turn it around. I do think Castellanos is going to get his numbers, and I think that JT Realmuto, at least offensively, is going to get his numbers. I like Bomer. I want to see Stott and Moniak in the lineup every single day, and there's absolutely no reason why this team can't be in the top 7 in the National League and make the playoffs. No reason. I'm division, you're like 12 out of the Mets, and the Mets are going to get healthy. They're going to get the Grom back. They're going to get Scherzer back. So, like, I don't want to say the Mets are not reachable, but you got to – not only do you have to catch the Mets, you got to make up 12 games on the Mets, and the Braves are going to get hot. The Braves always start slow, and then they're right there at the end. Always. So, I'm putting the division on hold. So, that means you got to be a wild card, which is within reach. As long as you're 500 or better by the 4th of July, Need to have a good June. You should be in the top 7 in the National League. The talent is here. The talent has been dissembled. And I trust, I said it a billion times. I'll say it again. I trust Dave Dombrowski. I do.
Yes.
I do. I hear you fine. Maybe
I hope that's better, guys.
when teams are performing, they have to do. When teams aren't performing, they have to do something. Yeah, I mean, you got to do something. You can't fire all the players. Can't fire all the players. So, unfortunately, Joe Girardi bit the dust. And, Matchbox 20, Rob Thompson in the house. Uniform lineup. Defined roles in the bullpen. Fundamental
And on his
baseball.
way out, Joe Girardi, Rob Thompson kind of threw him a little jab and said, I think I could get a little bit more out of these guys than what he was.
Well, what's he supposed to say? I'm taking over for Joe. I probably won't be as good, but I'll try my best. That's not what you say. I mean, I thought he was nice about it, honestly.
He was. I like it. I like hearing him say that. Like he has confidence that he could turn this ship around.
He has the players to do so.
Yeah.
And like I said, like Dombrowski, I mean, look, I'm cool with the position players on this team. I'm cool with this bench because Didi's going to be a bench guy. Camargo is kind of your Swiss Army knife utility guy. There's enough offense here. Dave Dombrowski, if you know baseball like I think you do, and he does know baseball, he's won everywhere he's been. Everywhere he's been. Florida, Detroit, Boston. Now it's our turn in Philly to win with Dave Dombrowski. Please, 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 please get some competent bullpen arms in here. And don't wait until the deadline. Now. Get him in now. If that costs me Rhys Hoskins, okay.
Is this better? Can you guys hear me now? Trying to fix it, guys.
Bryce Blackwell, he's in the house, as he always is. What's up, Bryce? Huge Philly sports fan. I can't imagine an intelligent man like Bryce would disagree to this poll question, but maybe he does. We'll get his thoughts here in the chat in a few minutes here, hopefully.
All right, sounds like I'm back up online.
We're back in. We're locked in. We are locked in. We're at the ramp. This is the ramp booth exclusively on a2dradio.com. We're live from all campus between 10th and 11th Street on the Ocean City Boardwalk. Brought to you by A2D memberships. Become an A2D member. Follow the link in the bio. Get 20% off here at all campus. Also get gambling picks from the Money Pop Podcast and and Willie Vegas. And then we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram. Get us wherever you get your podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. So we covered the Phillies.
Yeah.
So let's move on. NBA Finals, Game 2 tonight. First off, it's absolutely obnoxious how spread out these basketball games are.
I was just about to say that. How do you have
reason.
2 days off for a non-travel, trip? It makes no sense.
I mean, if you're going from San Fran to Boston, okay.
I get 2 days. All right, yeah.
Okay. But
you're staying.
Play the next night. Like, all these guys that are major contributors, they're not far off from playing AAU ball.
No, right.
And you play like 3-4 games a day there.
Right.
I get you can't do that because the NBA players are spoiled divas. But, like, you should be play the next night.
Well, at least every other night. Maybe take 1 day off, but there's no reason to take 2 days off.
So Boston takes Golden State to the house in Game 1 in San Fran. I don't see it changing. I really don't. I think Boston matches up really, really well with this Golden State. Look, Steph's the best player on the floor.
Correct.
But players 2 through 4, 2 through 5
arguably could be on Boston.
Are on Boston.
Yeah.
And Boston matches up really, really, really well. Steph's going to get his. Good offense always beats good defense.
Right.
In the NBA. Steph's going to get his. But, like, when I have Marcus Smart on Klay Thompson, I have Robert Williams on Draymond Green, and I have Jaylen Brown on either Thompson or Jordan Poole or Wiggins.
Yeah.
Like, those are all plus matchups for the Boston Celtics. And I know Steve Kerr voted one of the top 15 greatest coaches of all time. But right here at the Ramp booth on June 5th at 12:03 p.m., Ume Udoka from the Boston Celtics
Is out coaching him.
is a better coach than Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he is.
And I know people in Philadelphia don't want to hear that because we don't like Boston. They say they're the Sixers' biggest rival. But I have nothing but respect for this version of the Celtics.
They are coached well. He is a very, very good coach.
The Boston Celtics are everything I want the Celtics or the Sixers to be.
Correct.
And more.
Yep.
So you look at it, and Boston's been the best team in the NBA since January.
Yeah.
So I know it's like the popular, Steph with the pedigree, and they're going to – I don't like Boston. Like, I like to pick what I think's going to happen, not what I want to happen when I make predictions. I predicted Boston in 6. Really, the 2 wins for the Warriors are really just out of respect for Steph Curry. I think Boston's a better team. They match up better. They're better coached.
Right.
And they're just better. They're just a better basketball team.
Boston just has more pieces that can do more, especially defensively. I mean, you said it. They match up well against Golden State defensively. You have Marcus Smart, the Defensive Player of the Year. He can guard 1 through 4. He can guard anyone. And then you got Jaylen Brown and Tatum, which are not slouches defensively. You have nobody on Golden State like that. I mean, you got Draymond, but he can't guard Tatum or Brown. He can't stay with those guys.
No.
And Wiggins is the key factor. Wiggins needs to play. Wiggins needs to do what he did in the Western Conference Finals. If he does that, Golden State has a chance. But if he does what he did Game 1, it's going to be a long series.
Bryce Blackwell, he agrees to the poll. Got to make a deadline move. We just touched on it. I'm not waiting for the deadline. You got to get competent bullpen in, and you don't have.
There's no moves to be made though.
You got to find a way. You got to do something. You got to get bullpen help in.
Who are you trading?
I just said if it costs me Reese Hoskins, I'm fine.
Okay. I mean, you're opening up holes though.
Not really, because I'll just put Schwarber at first, Moniak in center, Castellanos in right, and I'll play Herrera in left.
All right,
that's fine. Look, Herrera, as much as we hate him and as much of a knucklehead he is, he's a major league player.
He is.
I would prefer him to be my 4th outfielder, but if he has to start, that's not the end of the world.
All right.
That's fine. And I need my kids to keep playing. Bohm, Moniak, Stott. I need them to produce.
Right.
And Herrera can just bat 9th and be Herrera.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a big time arm. I just don't think we have the pieces to command a big time closer.
I don't need – it doesn't have to be a closer.
Okay.
I need someone I can give the ball to when Ranger Suarez goes 4 1/3 because he can't throw strikes consistently.
And keep us in the game.
And keep us in the game. Because if that happens now, just pack up, go in. You guys got it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Right. I mean, listen, I do think they have the pieces to be that. But when it's all said and done, I do think Sir Anthony moves to that closer role when it's all said and done. And then you hope Newble will be the setup guy. And then you have some decent arm. I mean, Hand is not bad.
Okay.
He's okay, especially against lefties. He's pretty serviceable. Brogdon's been doing pretty good. I'm okay with him. For an inning, if you got to get him a sixth inning stop.
I need another guy. And teams do this closer by committee thing all the time.
No, I don't think we have that. I think Sir Anthony is our closer. I just don't think we want to put him there now because he's not ready.
That's what you want to happen.
Right.
Well, there's no evidence to suggest that Sir Anthony Dominguez can lock down the 9th inning on a consistent basis.
No, I think there is. I mean, he has under 1.8 ERA right now, and he's thrown 22 innings.
Okay, but I need one or two more guys in that bullpen.
I agree with you. I just stop thinking we're going to get a top tier guy. We're not getting a top tier guy, right? We might get another arm, right? An Archie Bradley type of person. Like we're not getting a top tier guy. It's not happening.
I don't need Josh Hader. I don't need Mariano Rivera. Like I need a guy that I can somewhat trust. I don't trust any of these guys now. Sir Anthony included.
Right.
Knable, no. Familia, no. Hand, I had no expectations for Hand coming into the season, and he's exceeded my expectations because he's been okay, and I had such low expectations.
Correct.
He's an older guy.
Well,
right.
I think the guy that I have on my radar right now is from the Cubs, and we had him before. Dave Robertson. I think he's going to be one of the big bullpen arms that's going to be available during the trade deadline. I think he's going to command a lot this year.
The Pirates closer, he's pretty good. We watched him pitching to Bednar.
Right. He's really good.
really
I don't
good.
know if he becomes available. He's still young.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I have no research like to back me here, but I'm just thinking of the bad teams and who they have.
I would love to have him. Don't get me wrong.
But like a guy like that, he pitches multiple innings all the time.
Yeah, throws gas. Has been a closer in the past this year. Like, I would love to have him.
Like you look at who's like underachieving and like older.
That's what I'm thinking. Like a Dave Robertson.
Like that's fine. But I kind of been there, done that with David Robertson.
I hear you, but he's healthy now, and he's doing good.
Yeah, he'll move into with Castellanos at Ben Simmons' house, and his arm will explode probably. Like Arizona, like who's in Arizona's bullpen?
I mean, they got that closer who just got hurt, and now he's not really the closer. I'm gonna butcher his name, the Melcanano or something like that.
I couldn't tell you who the Arizona Diamondbacks closer is now. But
I'm gonna butcher his name, but he could be available. Yeah,
somebody, and now, not in July, now, because you're boxed into making up games quick here.
You're gonna pay a premium if you try to get someone now, though.
Pay it.
We don't have a premium price. Who is the guy we're giving up?
Rhys Hoskins.
No one is trading a top tier bullpen guy for Rhys Hoskins.
Top tier bullpen guy. I need competent. Maybe you can give me 2 B- bullpen arms that'll look like Cy Young in this bullpen. That makes you better.
Yeah. All right.
Because having Rhys and Schwarber in this lineup, they're the same player.
Correct.
One bat's lefty, one bat's right. They're the same guy. And they hit back-to-back in the lineup.
Right.
Which I guess you have to do, especially with Gene out. Because
Joe you have no top of the line guy, yeah.
You have no top of the lineup guys. But like if they're both hot at once, cool. You're gonna pile up numbers. But if they're both cold at once, like we saw for the first 55 games of the season,
yeah, you're not putting up a lot when the top of the lineup is not producing.
You're 12 games out, which is what we are. So like I need competent, and maybe like you trade Rhys and you get like another utility guy, and like who's in
a bullpen guy?
Like who's in the Reds bullpen?
I couldn't name anyone.
Gotta
off the
be
top
someone.
Of my head.
But give me like Brandon Drury, a utility guy,
right,
and a bullpen guy for Rhys. Spitball, and you do whatever prospects and money you gotta make it work.
I hear you. It's just baseball doesn't work that way, though, man.
But these
teams that are bad, they're not trading for Rhys Hoskins, who's a 28, 29-year-old
good point
average player. They're looking for prospects, and we don't have them.
No.
That's why I just don't think. And then anyone who's a playoff contender isn't trading arms. Right, that's not going to happen.
They're adding arms.
They're adding arms, right?
You're going to be competing if you wait until the deadline, you're going to be competing with the Padres,
right,
and the Dodgers,
the Yankees,
yeah, the Astros,
Blue Jays, all those teams,
Blue Jays, all those teams that have way better farm systems, and it'll just be like, dude, I'll overpay for your guy. Because I want to win right now. Like I have Vlad Guerrero Jr.
They don't even have to overpay. There's no way we can compete with their average pay.
Correct, but they're going to be bidding against each other, the good teams.
Right.
So like that's advantageous for the smaller market teams because someone's going to overpay for maybe not.
And you see it all the time.
Guy.
Yeah, you see it all the time. It's just the Phillies are boxed into what we have because we don't have a top tier prospect that's going to fetch anything.
Who's in the A's bullpen? Anyone? They stink. They don't even have a field to play on.
No one that I'm
they're going to be
desperate to have.
They're going to be the Ocean City, but like you got to compare. You don't have desperate to have it. You have to look at it in context to what we do have, and it's not much.
I get it.
New blood.
Yeah, and you're right. You could just go, a lateral move, the same type of pitcher, you know what I mean, and just hope he does better here. I get that. That could be doable. But for anyone to think we're going to get a top-tier guy, that needs to be out of everyone's head. It's not happening. We don't have the prospects to compete for that.
They don't get traded. They're like running backs in fantasy football. Like, if you have a good bullpen guy, A good closer or a good setup guy,
They don't get moved sometimes.
they
Yeah,
don't get
you're right.
moved.
You're
Nobody
right.
has a good bullpen. Everybody's looking for bullpen help at the deadline. The Mets, the Braves,
Everyone is.
everyone.
Yeah, everyone's looking for arms.
Everyone. Michael Cambria, I hate the Celtics, but I have to admit it's a well-run organization.
It is.
They don't stay bad for a long time.
You're right. They seem to always make the right move.
Wait, hold on. So the Celtics didn't lose for 10 years on purpose to get to the NBA Finals?
When are you
didn't.
talking about?
That's what the Sixers did, and
Oh
they're still not there.
no. Yes, I hear.
So-
I hear
so-
you.
so
What
the
you're
Celt-
saying.
So the Celtics, okay.
No, they ran a good
So-
organization, made the right
so
draft picks, and made the right trades.
So processing and giving the reins to an organization, to a scam artist, a Ponzi scheme artist like Sam Hinkie. I mean, there's other ways to build championship teams besides making a mockery of the game of basketball. The city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, there
There's
are.
other ways to do it. I was confused for 10 years because I was told that was the only way to do it. And the only thing you got out of it was Joel Embiid, who's always hurt, never going to be at 100% when this basketball team needs him the most, and Tyrese Maxey. So,
Right.
So cool.
And Maxey, we got lucked into. COVID helped us with that one.
Remember we drafted a center like every year, like the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
Remember the
my
Detroit
God.
Lions? They won.
Noel was supposed to be it.
Yeah, Drew Holiday. So trade.
Okafor.
Yeah, it's Drew Holiday for Noel Noel. Nice one, Sam. Thanks, Sam. Cool. I'd spit in that guy's face if I ever met him in person.
Yeah, that was
Scumbag loser.
definitely process
idiot.
did not work.
Yeah.
Does anyone think the process is still
No, this is what they do.
able to work?
This is what they do. The process is never over.
It-
The process
it's
is
over. It's
the
over.
process is over when they win a championship. No.
No,
These
it's over.
process Sam Hinkie like worshipers, the process is still going on until you win a championship.
That's
That's their
the
mentality.
false statement.
It's the falsest statement ever.
Right.
But yeah, just look at the Boston Celtics. They have a great owner. The Sixers don't. They
Right.
have a great general manager. The Sixers don't. They have great talent on the court.
Yeah.
The Sixers don't.
Always seem to have a great coach, no matter who it is.
Coaching. By the way, Ume Udoka, I hope I am pronouncing his name right. I apologize if I'm not. He was an assistant under Brett Brown.
Correct.
He was right here for us.
He was in house. Yep.
Right here. It's brutal. It's brutal how poorly run the Sixers are as an organization. It's like embarrassingly bad. Terrible. But yeah, the Celtics are everything I want the Sixers to be. The Rangers are everything I want the Flyers to be.
Rangers have done another one. Yeah,
so
they've
that-
really built through the draft.
So two teams that I should hate with a passion, I have respect for because I hate the Sixers and I hate the Flyers that much right now. Now, if the Sixers go out and do something that intrigues me, I'll evaluate that when it happens.
Right.
If it happens. John Malmo's Phillies Sport Management has trashed this organization. Time to stop putting on a bandit and rebuild the team top to bottom. No, you can't do that.
I was about to say, how do you
can't
do that, though?
John.
Like,
you can't do that.
especially in baseball, it just
First
doesn't
off-
happen.
First off, the only player you're going to get value for is Bryce Harper, and you're not trading Bryce Harper. No
Mhm.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's making $25 million a year
Real
for
friendly
for
deal.
the next 10 years. Every time one of these mega deals goes out, Bryce Harper goes down the AAV
Right.
list, and it gets even more team friendly. So you're not doing that, and Bryce Harper puts butts in the seats.
The only one.
Like he's a box office draw. Like I took off work on Friday, June the 10th. Hit me up on Facebook if you're going to be at the game, but I'm going to the Phillies game not to watch the game. I'm going to stay and watch the game, obviously, because the product is improving.
Right.
But I'm there to get my Bryce Harper bobblehead doll.
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be a
It's
kid
going to be a
about it.
sellout.
I'm going to be a kid about it. I'm going down, and I'm getting my bobblehead. That's my core reason for purchasing a ticket for that game.
Right.
Not many players command that.
Yeah.
Probably Judge and Trout and
Right.
there's
And I
probably
was
a
just
couple
telling
other
you,
ones.
I did the same thing Friday. Friday night, I took my son. I said, it's the first time, probably the only time I'm going to have a chance to see Mike Trout play live. I'm shutting the store down and we're going. And that's what we did.
shut it down. If you're a Sixers fan and still trust the process, good luck. Yeah, me and John,
It's
we
done.
interact on Facebook. Facebook a lot. Yeah, we're pretty in lockstep on the Sixers.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the Sixers. Ron Hextall ruined the Flyers' poor drafting. Pittsburgh can have him. Is that where Ron Hextall is now?
Yeah, he's
the
Pittsburgh.
GM.
I think he is the GM now.
That's
I do.
shocking because like the Penguins have traditionally been well run. Now they got lucky; they landed Crosby.
They got lucky a couple times. They landed Malkin. They landed
Malkin as
Crosby, Fleury. They had great first
well.
number one
They
picks.
just had all those scumbags that like you love them if they're on your team.
Oh, yeah.
You play Chris Letang,
Right.
like all those guys. Same with the Bruins.
Kunitz. Yeah.
Yeah. Same with the Bruins with Marchand and all those guys they had there.
Right.
But Sixers, big offseason, pivotal offseason.
Is it though?
Yeah, this is your last. It's the bottom. It's the bottom of the ninth. You're down 2 runs, and this is your last chance to kind of put something together to make a championship run. At least in my evaluation.
Do you really see a big move on the horizon though?
No, and
No.
listen, Bradley Beal, great scorer, great shooter. It doesn't do anything for me.
I do not want Beal and Harden on the same floor.
A Tobias Harris type Bradley Beal swap
No,
does not get this basketball team over the hump.
not even close.
I'd rather have Tobias. I think you have a better chance with Tobias.
So do I.
Honestly.
Yep.
And you're not trading Maxey. Harden, I guess he's going to opt in. If he doesn't opt in, he's going to sign.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
He's going to opt out and then sign a 4-year less than.
He ain't
max
going
deal.
nowhere. Put it that way.
He's here.
Yes.
And he's going to be making a lot of money.
Right.
Period. And Joe is a top 5 player when he's healthy, but after an 82-game grind of a season,
it wears on him.
He's never there.
Right.
He's never there in the second round of the playoffs when we need him. Because if Joel Embiid doesn't take this team to the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals, or a championship, this team ain't going.
No chance.
So if his hand's going to be hurt and he's going to break his face and
keep falling on the floor every
fall
play.
Fall on the floor every play, which I love. But, you got to pick your spots a little bit, especially not being 24. You're almost 30 now.
Right.
You got so, look, I look at this team. Perimeter defense is atrocious on this team.
You need to find somebody that can play
the amount of
defense.
The amount of times that I watch this basketball team just let opposing guards and forwards just go into the 12, 15, 18-foot range of the basketball court and just pepper you with the mid-range game.
Or do the alley-oop over Joe. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens because then they make
he has to
shot.
step. Yeah.
Joe's got to step up in the back door.
Yep.
The back door lob's wide open. Right? Because you play small. Your best lineup's small.
Right.
That's why I can't get rid of Matisse Thybulle. He's the only guy I can put out there.
He's the only tradable piece we have.
I'm not trading Matisse Thybulle this offseason.
Then you're not getting better. This is our team then. That's it. You might sign a veteran. That's it.
But if I can get a veteran that can defend the perimeter, that's more likely to put me over the hump. Maybe 2 guys because you got to replace Danny.
Yeah.
I'm beyond over Korkmaz and I mean Niang. He can be on my bench.
He's okay on the bench. Yeah.
He can come off the bench and maybe hit some shots. And then you need. I don't know if you can get Drummond back or whatever, and I also don't know how much money this team's going to have to spend. Can you afford Drummond?
No.
He had a good season last year.
He'll be a starter somewhere.
And if I'm Brooklyn, I'm
keeping him.
I'm keeping him.
Yeah.
Because they traded for him.
Right.
And he wasn't the reason they didn't go for it. Who they played? Was it Boston, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
In the first round?
Yeah.
So they lost to the Celtics.
Yep.
They're just not as good as the Celtics.
No, Celtics are a better team. Yeah.
So they got a tough end of the draw because Kyrie wasn't vaccinated and couldn't play. And they bring in Ben and he doesn't play a lick.
Yeah.
So, if you get Kyrie and Durant for a full season, you're going to be much higher up. There'll be a higher playoff seed than the Sixers next year.
100% they will be. Yeah.
Heat aren't going anywhere. That's another team. They do it with less than Boston, and they're still better than the Sixers. They're not as talented as Boston.
Not even as close as talented, but they play as a unit. They play basketball, and the Sixers don't. The Sixers play pick and roll. That's it.
You should play pick and roll when you have Joe.
Okay, it ain't gonna. Listen, it's not going to get you to where you need to be, right? championship teams, they have 5 guys that can play.
The pick and roll. You can run your whole offensive playbook can stem from a pick and roll. Your
Maybe.
entire it can. I'll draw it up for you after the show, and I'll show you how it can. Because then you can feed.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can win by
kick.
doing it. I don't think you can win by doing it.
So how do you win offensively?
I would like to win by the way this team, the Sixers, are constructed, putting Joe down on the block and him making smart, intelligent plays. That is not what he does.
Okay, centers don't win.
Well, then what are we doing?
Yeah, we're stuck because stupid Sam Hinkie, the idiot Sam Hinkie, ruined this franchise because he was like the Detroit Lions. And remember the early 2000s, the Lions would win 3 games every year.
Right.
They'd have a top 5 pick, and they would pick a receiver every time.
Yep.
And none of them were good. Sixers do the same thing with centers. They got lucky that Joe fell to him, and he's good.
It's great.
But this isn't 2000. Like, you're not winning championships with the best center in the league. That's not how the league works anymore.
No.
It's just not.
You're right. You need a wing player.
You need hockey lines on the perimeter.
Yes.
Look at the Warriors, right?
Oh, my God. They're so loaded.
Clay, Steph.
Kaminga can't even get minutes. He'd be a starter on our team.
Gary Payton Jr.
He's another one,
start on our team, too.
Otto Porter Jr., right?
Otto Porter would start on the Sixers.
Yeah.
You need waves on the perimeter. Waves and waves. You need hockey lines on the perimeter. And they need to not only be able to score, they need to be able to defend. Defending the perimeter is probably the most important aspect of defense.
Right.
Maybe the important aspect of basketball in today's NBA.
Yeah, I think that's what I think it's a new saying the last couple of years, right? You're always trying to draft that 3D guy, right? That 3-and-D guy. And we thought Matisse was going to be it. You thought Danny Green was it, and they just haven't. Matisse does the D good, but not the 3. Danny Green does the 3 good, but not the D anymore. Like we need to find a real 3-and-D guy.
Well, you had one. Remember when we traded? Remember the process?
Right.
Remember the process when we drafted Mikal
Bridges? Yeah.
He would be perfect.
Yes, he would.
He would be perfect. I guarantee you, if Mikal Bridges was on this basketball team last year, the Sixers are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You're right. You're right.
Whether they beat Boston or not, I don't know.
That was what? Landry Shamet?
I guarantee. No, they traded Zaire Smith.
Smith. You're right.
We figured out he was allergic to peanuts at 20 years old
Yeah.
and lost all of his weight. I mean, it looked like he belonged in the ICU on hospice care. It was ridiculous and obnoxious.
You know what? The one guy that we have, is Springer going to be anything? Is he going to contribute to us this year?
I don't know.
Is he going to be a guy who we could count on?
It's like Moniak and Stott. Like, why not figure it out? I'm over Korkmaz.
Right. I'm over Korkmaz. I'm over getting a guy like
I'll tell you what,
George Hill or anything like that. Like
a guy I've always liked, and he didn't really get an opportunity last year. What's up, Jake?
What's up, bud?
Isaiah Joe.
Okay.
He's like 6'4" guard out of Arkansas, good college career.
Right.
Like he can score, he shoot. He has a skill set that intrigues me. But
he's
not a
he can't play a lick a D.
He's not going to be a defense
Can't
guy.
play a lick a D.
But like you develop him into the Korkmaz role because he's bigger and stronger than Korkmaz.
I would rather see him at the Korkmaz role. Yes, he's not as good as ball handler, but
he's too weak. Korkmaz can't handle a ball.
Korkmaz isn't a bad ball handler. I think he played point guard for his national team in the Olympics.
What for? What Turkey?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I think they did okay.
I want guys that start on Team USA, not on Team Turkey.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck with that.
That's what you need to win, though.
Realistically, what veteran do you think that this team can sign that's going to contribute? Like, who is going to want to choose to come to Philadelphia?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm just saying
there's no one.
What I think the team, the skill sets that Daryl Morey, that Morey the moron, needs to target this offseason, and it's perimeter defense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Second priority would be
3-point shooting.
You need, I would say, a backup for Joe. DeAndre Jordan, he's not going to be here.
What was the statement that just came out? We're hoping that it's going to be, oh my God, Bassey? Yeah, we're hoping Bassey's it.
B-ball Paul?
No. Charles Bassey, right?
If you want to have Bassey and not Millsap, B-ball Paul
right.
on the basketball team, okay. That's fine. That's not your primary
Yeah,
backup center.
They better be the end of the bench guys. Yeah.
Because Joe's going to get hurt. Joe's going to get
Oh,
hurt.
he's going to need nights off. Yeah.
He's going to get hurt. He's going to need nights off. So you need a guy that, and like, you're not going to replace Joe with a backup.
Of course.
It's not, but you need a guy that can give you minutes, grab boards.
Right.
You know, protect the rim a little bit.
Yeah, even in games like when we go up and we play, Oklahoma City or we play Charlotte or some teams like that. I don't want to see Joe playing 40 minutes. I don't want to see that. I need him to be around the 30-minute mark against those teams where we should win, which means we need a capable backup that can hold 15, 20 minutes a game in some cases.
And potentially be a competent starter when Joe
needed,
inevitably gets hurt.
Right.
He's gotten hurt every year. I hate to break it to everyone. He gets hurt. He's fragile.
Yeah.
That's why you don't build around centers in the NBA, and that's why it was stupid for the process to draft 3 straight centers in 3 straight years in the NBA draft. It's ludicrous. It's obnoxious. It's not 1994.
Right.
Having the best center in the league doesn't win you a championship. Period. End of story. It can't be argued.
No, you're right.
Look at the finals.
Yeah, they're all small teams.
Look at the 4 teams in the
championships,
Western finals and the Eastern finals.
It's small.
It's clear as day. They're small. The Mavericks had guards for days.
Yeah.
For days. Want to know why they had guards for days? Because they realized you don't build around big guys. They shipped Kristaps Porzingis off to Washington and got a competent NBA guard in Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, and he can play.
Exponentially better when they made that trade. They stunted the Wizards in that trade.
Right.
Because he's skilled, and on paper he's skilled.
The big unicorn.
But, he hasn't done anything. He was, the 2nd pick in the draft?
Yeah. He's not had a bad career. I'm not going to bash him, but you're right. It's just not what.
As the 2nd pick in the draft, he's a bust.
I'm not going to say he's a bust. He's not a bust.
If you pick someone 2nd in the draft in the NBA, you need him to blossom into a max player, or he's a bust.
Well, I think he is a max player, isn't he? I think he's got a max contract.
Should he be?
Probably not.
Okay. Defense rests. I feel like Camille Vasquez presenting sports argument. That trial was a joke, by the way.
That was a joke. I'm not going to get into that.
I scroll on TikTok and I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like that girl can represent me anytime. Anytime.
Hopefully you're never in that predicament, huh?
Yeah, defamation suit.
Please.
Yeah. I might be, though.
There you go.
Fly off. That's when I freak out. Hopefully Sam Hinkie wasn't.
You don't see him face to face one day, huh?
I told him I would spit in his face if I ever saw him. Well, I can do that here. Never mind.
All right.
Never mind. What do you want? NHL? What time is it? How much time we have? 12:31.
I want to get some Eagles talk too.
Okay. What aspect of the Eagles would you like to talk about, John? The floor is yours.
The Jalen Hurts notion that he's changed his delivery. He's looking a little bit stronger. The arm strength's looking a little bit better. Are we buying into this?
Not until I see it.
I mean, there's video out there that has him with his motion is a little bit faster. He's getting the ball out a little bit quicker. He does look a little bit stronger.
You mean when he's in basketball shorts and a T-shirt?
Practice?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Well, I mean, that's what everyone's in right now, and it does. His motion does look faster. It does look like the ball's coming out quicker.
Well, I was kind of hashing out for future shows, like lay out arguments and how I'm going to present information on future shows, and I did hash out on my phone here early NFL playoff predictions. If you want to.
I'm all for it.
If you want to get into that.
I'm in it. Yeah.
You want to start in the AFC or the NFC?
Let's go AFC then first.
Okay, the biggest hot take I have, and this is a hot take, and I think the word hot take gets overused a lot. Like, a hot take is presenting, whatever you want to say, just saying it to say it and having no information to back it up.
Right.
That's a hot take.
Right.
If I'm going to say something outlandish and I have points A, B, C to back myself up,
that's a belief.
That's not a
right.
hot take.
Right.
So I think that word gets over. And there's hot takers out there. Nick Wright on ESPN.
He's very much one.
He's a total crumb. He's awful at his job. I would tell that to his face.
Skip Bayless is definitely one.
I don't agree ever with Skip Bayless. That's different. I don't agree with Skip Bayless, but like what he says can be backed up.
Some of it, but some of it, man, he just throws some stuff
he-
out there.
His LeBron stuff, he just hates LeBron.
Right.
Okay. And he goes to the 3-6 in the finals or whatever LeBron is. I can't argue LeBron's record in the finals.
That's truth, yeah.
So that's not a hot take for me. If you think LeBron's not a top 5 player because of that, I don't agree with you. I think that's stupid because I use my eyes and watch the game, but I wouldn't consider that a hot take.
Okay. All right.
That's my opinion.
So what's your NFL hot
take? So my
take?
biggest hot take in the AFC is I have the Cincinnati Bengals as of 12:34 on June 5th, not in the playoffs.
I don't think that's a hot take. I got them not in the playoffs.
So you look at a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, they overachieved last year.
Well, 100%.
This time last year, we were talking about everyone in the AFC North has a chance at the division except the Bengals.
Correct.
So they overachieved. Super Bowl hangovers are a real thing.
Yep.
I think the last 10 quarterbacks to go to the Super Bowl and lose their first appearance never went back.
Right. Dan Marino was the biggest one.
Donovan, just to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jake Delhomme, obviously guys like that.
Right.
Once but they weren't good. McNabb, much better player than Delhomme.
Right.
McNabb just seems to open up cans of worms for himself all
Can't
the time.
get into him.
All the time. But yeah, I have the Cincinnati and you look at this AFC, it's loaded. So there's going to be a ton,
especially in that division.
So there's going to be 3 or 4 really good teams that probably would make it in a weaker NFC that aren't going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
The Cincinnati Bengals, and then you have the aspect there's 50% turnover. So
50% of the teams that made it last year will not make it this year.
Aren't going to make it this year.
Right.
So I have the Bengals out as of right now. They could change my mind, but
I'm with you.
See.
I'm with you.
So I worked it. I'm going to present it 7 seed to 1 seed.
All right.
So I'm going to start with my wild cards. This is a coin flip, and this is really the one in the AFC that I struggled with. I have the Steelers as my 7 seed, slightly over the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
I think the Steelers have a better roster. I think the Steelers have a better coach. And let's face it, everyone's going to say, Brinkman, you're insane. The Chargers have Herbert, and the Steelers have Pickett or Trubisky.
Right.
Let's be real about it. Ben Roethlisberger wasn't a good player last year.
No.
And they made the playoffs.
They got a great roster.
I am going to closely monitor the Deontay Johnson situation.
Yeah.
He seems to be wanting to hold out. He wants his money. He should get his money. He's a really good receiver. So they could flip. The 6th seed, AFC, I love what Miami did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love what Miami did. I was a non-believer in Tua. I'm a believer now. He's going to look a lot better with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as his receivers.
Yeah, he should.
Probably the best corner tandem in the whole league. Howard and Byron Jones.
Right.
Good defense. And then you go from a defensive coach in Flores.
That's the big difference.
And that was and you bring in Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
Who maybe the best play caller and orchestrator of offense in the league is probably either Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan. So
right.
He was the offensive coordinator in San Francisco, so I fully believe that McDaniel is going to be able to put Tua and those receivers in a position to win. And the Patriots and the Jets stink. And spoiler, the Bills are running away with the East
division, right?
And they're my 1 seed.
Okay.
Just to spoil. I think the Bills are going to win the Super
Bowl. Okay.
And then so what? I'm up to the 5 seed in
right.
the AFC. I have the Chiefs as my top wild card.
Oh, okay.
You can't get rid of Tyreek Hill and go young and let go of those veterans and not take a step back.
Who you got winning that division?
I got the Raiders.
Oh, all right.
Look, the Raiders made the playoffs last year. They have a franchise quarterback.
They do, and people are down on him, and I do not understand it and don't get it.
But you made the playoffs. You gave Cincinnati all they could handle in wild card.
Could have won that game
in Cincinnati, and you add arguably the best receiver in the league,
correct,
and arguably the best pass rusher, in the league,
correct,
Chandler Jones. So what am I missing? I'm seeing them as like a long shot.
I got them in the playoffs. I have the Chiefs still winning the division.
That's fine, but I don't know. I'm just you just got to be a little different.
Right.
Oh, it make a little noise, But like, yeah, and I think Josh McDaniels going to be a really good coach.
Yes, he
The
is.
second time around. I thought he was too young and immature the first time around in Denver.
Right.
You go back in the oven to cook with Belichick a little longer, and I think he's primed for
A nice little run
a nice
here.
little run here.
He's got the team for it.
And he doesn't have Tim Tebow as his quarterback. He's Derek Carr, who's a franchise quarterback. Where am I at? So I like the Ravens in the North.
Okay.
I think Lamar, I don't know what the odds are on Lamar Jackson to win MVP, but that's a bet I will be most likely making.
Okay.
He wants his money. He's going to be healthy. Look, the Ravens had everything go
He
wrong.
needs to have a year. Yes.
The Ravens had everything go wrong as an organization.
I think they were down to what, their sixth running back or something.
And
It was
the secondary was
yeah.
the same thing. And they all happened before the season, so you can't even adjust.
Right.
You got to adjust on the run with practice squad guys and guys off the street. So I like the Ravens to and like we just talked about the Boston Celtics and the Ravens. Great owner, great manager,
Great
coach.
franchise.
They have a franchise quarterback. They're never bad 2 years in a row, so I have the Ravens bouncing back. Where am I at? I'm missing one. Oh, the Colts are going to win the South.
I like it.
The Titans, they lost both their starting receivers.
You don't know what Henry's going to be coming back after the injury.
And I wanted to find a way to squeeze the Jaguars in because I think they're going to be much improved, but I just
There's
can't.
mine. There it is. I got the Jags
I
winning
love
it.
it. I love it. I love it. I'm just maybe I'm being a wimp right now and not picking it.
Right.
But like you're going from Matt. I think Matt Ryan has 1 or 2 years left in the tank.
I think he's still capable of doing it. I'm skeptical of when you run a running back like the way they did Jonathan Taylor. The next year, he just can't produce the same.
Do that 2 more years with him, and then he'll fall off.
You think he's got another year like that, like a 300 plus carries, and I just don't think you can do it.
I don't think you have to do it that much because Matt Ryan is just a more intelligent, better quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Okay, so you think they throw more then?
Yeah, you can trust Ryan more than Carson because Carson he's a stu nut out there.
Yeah, I just don't think Jonathan Taylor's
away.
going to do it 2 years in a row.
You taking him first in fantasy?
No, I wouldn't.
Who are the candidates?
If I had the first pick in fantasy this year, I'm going to go a little shocker. I'm going back to Saquon. I think Saquon's going to have a huge bounce back year. He's playing for a contract too.
Sign me up for your league. You can have the first pick.
I would take him.
That's fine. No, they stink. The Giants stink. Like they're gonna have to
I don't
throw.
think the Giants are going to stink.
Okay, and then I have the Bills. The Bills are loaded. Josh Allen.
We're both on the same page
Josh
there.
Allen, everything. Like they should.
They should be in the Super Bowl
the
this
Chiefs
year.
Last year.
Yeah.
And their coach just
gave them the game.
Took a lunch break and gave up seam route after seam route to Travis Kelce.
The deep kick instead of the squib. There's so many things that you can go on there.
So hopefully he learned and can do that better. Going to the NFC. So my shocker NFC playoff team is the Lions.
Oh, what? Lions what? In the playoffs?
Yes.
Playoffs?
Playoffs, baby. Dude,
wow.
I like them.
I mean, that's a hot take.
And that is a hot take.
That's a hot take.
But they're my Bengals of this year. That's the only thing I have to back it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can say
I'll
that.
even make it not a hot take. So from week 1 to week 17 last year, the team improved greatly.
Right.
They have a competent quarterback, not a franchise quarterback, in Jared Goff. Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought they had a great draft. You get Hutchinson, who I thought should have.
They had a great draft, yeah.
And you bring in Jameson Williams, maybe he starts on the pup list, but he adds another dimension to that offense. You have Hawkinson, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You also brought in DJ Chark. No shortage of weapons there.
No, they have tons of outside weapons.
So, and there's always a team like that. I wanted to go Jaguars like you.
Right.
In the AFC, but the AFC is just too.
You think they're
loaded.
better than?
No, I have them as the 7th seed, just getting in.
Okay. So you have Minnesota out then, right?
No, I have Minnesota winning the division. So I have 3 in that division right now.
You have the Packers in too?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So we're going Niners, 6 seed. 5 seeds, the Packers. Eagles are my 4 seed. I do think the Eagles win the division.
Okay.
Vikings are my 3 seed. Look, I think that the Vikings are prime.
Vikings are a great team.
Great long shot bet. I think they're like 35, 40 to 1, probably half that to win the NFC. I think that's a really good
It is.
kind of shot in the dark type bet. Like, I think you finally have a coach that has a clue,
Right.
and you have Jefferson, you have Kirk Cousins,
All kinds of weapons.
Dalvin Cook. Even if Dalvin Cook misses some time, Madison's good.
Great, yeah.
Like,
Good offensive line.
And like, I just can't. You can't lose Devontae Adams and replace him with Christian Watson out of North Dakota State and not take a step back.
Okay.
And then the top 2 are the Rams and the Bucs.
Bucks.
No real surprise. Like, the cream is at the top.
Okay.
It's obvious the cream's at the top. So you take some risks. I wonder what the Lions are to make the playoffs. I wonder what the odds are on that.
I would assume it's got to be pretty good.
That's going to be a dogfight week 1 for the Birds. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there. We're doing the Ramp Booth from Canada.
Yes.
From Canada on whatever it is, September 11th, whatever it is, the 10th.
The 10th,
yep. Is the 11th.
No, the game's the 11th, I believe. We will be doing it on the 10th and,
so
the morning of the 11th.
So September 11th, week 1, we'll be in Canada.
At the Caesars in Windsor, Ontario.
So we'll have an international broadcast, and then we're going to take the 20-minute trip. But all your hooligan fantasy football friends, I guess.
Oh, yeah, everyone's coming.
We're going to hoop it up. Don 19, hopefully we see him, our resident Detroit fan here. But, I mean, that's going to be a dogfight week 1. That's not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination for the Eagles.
No, any road game's not a gimme. Especially if you got them ranked that high. I don't see it for Detroit this year.
Well, who am I? Like, I put Detroit in as my 7th seed, so, like, who am I missing?
Well, I guess
unless I'm missing someone, and like it's just I can change my mind right now real quick.
I still like the Saints.
No, I need the Saints to lose every game because we have the draft.
I get it. I hear you. As a fan, I want them to lose every game too. But
I don't think they're that good. Jameis Winston without Sean Payton, no thanks.
Well, there it is.
No
if you get the Jameis Winston of Tampa Bay without a good coach, then yeah, of course they're going to be bad. But if you get the Jameis Winston that you had with Sean Payton, I think they could be still a contender for a wild card spot.
I read Alvin Kamara might be facing suspension.
What's that coming to? I didn't hear that.
I think I shouldn't even say because then I'll be in court getting grilled by Camille Vasquez for. I thought I read that he.
I mean, that would be it. If that's true, then they're done. They're out.
So I don't know. I look at the Saints and they're just a meh team.
Right.
Meh.
I still
Arizona.
Draft. You still got Arizona.
I'm so out. I'm beyond out on Kyler.
The team for me, and you're gonna laugh at me. I got the Giants. I got the Giants in the last spot of the playoffs.
Dallas got worse. Carson Wentz is a loser. So what? You have the Giants in the play?
I have the Giants, Dallas, and Eagles. I have 3 in the East.
I mean, the only thing that makes me sort of worried about I think the Eagles are second favorite in the East. I would hammer that.
I'd love the Eagles to win the division also.
I mean, the only thing that could have rocked because Dallas got worse.
Way worse.
You lost 2 starting offensive linemen.
You lost the wide receiver.
Your best receiver.
You lost your edge rusher.
Amari Cooper's on the Browns. I forgot about that.
I got the Browns, yeah.
Well, is Deshaun going to play?
It's looking like that, yes.
So he's not going to get suspended at all.
Seems that way.
Calvin Ridley gets a year.
Yeah, for betting
on DraftKings.
Yep.
Trevor Bauer in baseball gets 2 years.
For nothing, apparently. Well,
and
for
Deshaun
rumors.
Watson gets $250 million guaranteed and no suspension. What are we doing? Like, what is going on?
Did you see that statement? I don't even want to say it on the air, but you see a statement by his lawyer? What his lawyer said?
What did he say? We can say that. That's fine.
About the happy endings of the massage parlor are not illegal. That's all gravy as long as you don't pay extra.
I mean, it's legal if it's like they want to.
Right.
But if they don't want to and you make
you
them
force
give
them?
you the happy ending to your massage, then that's not okay.
I hear you.
But like I'm just baffled that he's going to get it. So, like, if he's got, that's another aspect to the AFC. It's another.
I have them winning the division.
I love their running. I'm a huge Nick Chubb fan.
Huge Chubb fan. And
Huge Nick Chubb fan.
yeah.
And then you have
best offensive line in the game, possibly.
the Eagles have the best offensive line in the game.
It's arguably. I mean, Cleveland's right there.
And I don't know. The Eagles have a very good offensive line.
They do.
I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm just going to say they have the best one. You can call me a homer and rip me. That's
No,
fine.
they do.
Who's the other guy? Not Chubb, but the other running back. Kansas City had some issues.
Right. Hunt. Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. He's really good too. He'd
Yes,
probably
he is.
start on any team but the Browns and the Colts, really. That's not bring Clowney back.
No, they do. I think they are bringing Clowney back.
They signed him.
Yeah.
So that adds a whole nother dimension to the
The best edge rushers in football with
Myles
him.
Garrett's a freak.
Yeah.
But, like, who am I missing in the NFC that makes my Lions? Saints, I'm not picking. I don't trust Kyler Murray.
Atlanta, I'm not with.
Seattle, no.
Carolina, I'm not with.
Carson Wentz is a loser. I'm not picking Washington.
I mean, Arizona, I think you're missing out on. I think Arizona is
Kyler
competitive.
Murray, he's a space case.
The
man.
49ers are.
I picked the Niners.
Oh, you did take the Niners?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Detroit's not as horrible because of the way the NFC is. Maybe it's not a horrible pick. I just can't do it.
Maybe my man Matt Corral will start in
Carolina.
Lead him there. Matty Corral.
They don't have a bad roster. They just don't have that top guy.
Well, CMC is going to get hurt.
He always does. He's a heck of a player, though. He could be the number one pick in fantasy. I forgot about him.
Yeah, I'm not picking him. I had my first round pick on IR by week 3.
Right.
He's already not playing any training camp or preseason.
As to be expected. So what do you got? Hockey playoffs. You want to end on that?
Yeah, we'll end on that. The Rangers are going to win the Stanley Cup.
Stop it.
They are.
Stop it. I'm taking that bet right now, today, before the game. I'm putting in Tampa to come back and win that series.
Now you're at the Garden down 2-0.
Bring it.
The Garden.
No. You're going to Tampa, right? Weren't they?
Rangers had home ice?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so then they should be 2-0.
Right. They did their job.
They did their job.
Right. I mean, look that up. They were at home, right? The Rangers? They had home ice, I thought.
I don't know, because they were both 2 seeds in there.
I'm pretty sure they had home
I
ice.
swore that they were in Tampa.
If I'm wrong, then I do like the Rangers. But
It's at today at 3:00.
right.
Yeah, the light.
It's at Tampa.
So the
Oh,
light-
it's at New York?
No, this is game 1, so they did have.
Right, they had home ice. Yeah, so it's in Tampa.
Today's in Tampa.
Right. So, okay, the Rangers did their job like everyone's supposed to do. You're supposed to win your first 2 games. Great. Now Tampa's got to do their job, which I think they will.
Great ownership, great coach, great goalie.
And what, Tampa doesn't?
Forwards that have.
Tampa's got way better than New York does.
It's hard to repeat.
Tampa's been doing it now for, 8, 9 years? I mean, they've been good.
I use that as an argument for the Rangers.
What?
A lot of hockey over the past. Deep playoff run after deep playoff run.
That's true.
Played a lot of miles on those tires. And they're getting older.
Yeah.
I don't think they still don't have Braden Point.
No. You don't need them. I mean,
Clearly they do. They're down 2-0.
I'm taking them to win this series.
I mean,
To me, that's the bet to make right now because you're getting the best odds.
Yeah, if you think that Tampa's going to come back and win, yeah, obviously that's the time to do it. I just don't see it. The Rangers, they have forwards for days. They just play. They're just
Jacob
clicking.
Trouba's playing out of his mind right now
They're
defensively.
They're just clicking. They're just straight clicking right now.
They are.
Like,
But going to Tampa, I feel Tampa's going to take 2 of them, and then you got 3-game series.
they came back.
And I'll take Tampa.
They came back 3-1 on the Penguins, and they just.
I think they came back 3-1 twice, right? Against Washington and against Pittsburgh.
No, they didn't play. The Panthers played Washington.
Oh, who came? Who they played in the first round?
Penguins,
Oh, and then they played Carolina second round.
and they won Game 7 on the road in Carolina. Not just one. Demolished the Carolina had.
On the road, yeah.
Pretty good hockey team on the road, so they can win big games on the road.
Goaltending's playing. I mean, I don't know.
Kirky is playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's an understatement.
They're making Vasilevsky probably the best goalie in the whole league.
Look like Swiss cheese sometimes.
Swiss cheese out there.
Well, I still got Tampa. Tampa has all the talent in the world.
Now,
and they've been there.
See, now look, I think you're falling in the trap that we talked about earlier. You want Tampa to win because you don't like the Rangers, and you're a big hockey fan.
I despise the Rangers.
So you want Tampa to win, so you're going to bet Tampa to win when they're not the better hockey team right now. They're just not.
I think they're still the better hockey team.
All the Philadelphia 76ers fans that are pounding the Warriors tonight and pounding the Warriors in the series, you're going to lose and you're going to be wrong because you're stubborn and don't recognize that Boston's been the best team in the NBA since January.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point to that.
Wishful thinking.
There's a point to that.
Bet with your brain, not your heart.
Tampa's a better team. The Rangers might just be playing better right now, but Tampa's a better team.
That's what it is, though. It's now. It doesn't matter when you turn on your Xbox and you look at the Tampa Bay is rated a 91 overall and the Rangers are only an 85 overall.
Right.
It doesn't matter. The Rangers are a 99 right now, and Tampa's not.
I like Tampa. I'm taking Tampa. I'm putting a bet down Tampa, and I do think they win. I do. I think they go 2-2. And it's a 3-game series, and I'm taking Tampa all day long in that.
Rangers drafted well. Bryce Blackwell.
Yes, they did.
Bengals probably win 10 games, but miss the playoffs, so he's on the same page with that, with us.
That's a shame because a definite under 500 team is probably going to make it in the NFC.
Well, you know what's going to happen this time next year? Goodell is going to get together with his brain trust of morons, and they're going to change the whole playoff format.
Right. Or realign the league or something will happen. Yeah.
Some crazy nonsense will happen because some owner that's buddy with Goodell is going to win 10 or 11 games and miss the playoffs.
Right.
So everything's going to change. Rangers drafted well. Yeah. I mean,
100% they did.
They got Keiko and
you
drafted other guys. Adam Fox.
You didn't miss on top picks, right? You got top picks and you hit on them. Flyers get top picks. And we whiff on them. It's just what's happening.
It's not even whiff. Whiff is like the understatement of the century.
Yeah.
It's like put me out there, and it would be better than the guys that they drafted.
Yeah,
I can't even skate.
If we were talking about the Sixers and the Phillies, how we got to blow up the team. The Flyers to me is the Philadelphia team where you just got to blow up. Where you just got to blow it up. Trade Provy, trade Konechny, trade Coots, trade them all. Get rid of them all.
Provorov is not a Philadelphia.
No, I don't think everyone who raved that he's a number 1 D pairing guy. He's not.
I don't know what hockey games that they're watching, but he's not he didn't play like one last year
or the year before.
Coots and Konechny, I'm over.
I'm done. I love Coots for what he is, but to be a top line center, he is not.
Not even close.
Yeah, he's not
even in his prime.
No. He's a shutdown center. That's what he needs to be.
He's like a third line center.
He's a third line shutdown grinding center. Yes.
And we love that here in Philadelphia because we think
you overvalue it.
1974
right.
And you win hockey games like the Broad Street Bullies.
And we definitely overvalue players like that.
If you watch any of the Western Conference Finals.
That's
how you build hockey teams.
Those guys can fly.
You skate up and down and you score goals. You don't check and you don't fight. And then when you get on a power play, you have to score.
Right.
Not hard. Flyers make it hard. But it's not hard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Flyers are 5 years away from catching up to the teams that are still playing right now.
Well, we could get in a whole hockey talk. You know, I'm all over this Russian kid, the number 2 overall pick. It looks like I'm gonna butcher his name again, but I would do whatever I could if I was the Flyers to get him. I'm trading Carter Hart. I'm trading everyone on my team to get this kid.
Can he score?
Yes. 6'4", 225. Can skate. He can do it all.
So you're off Hart.
I'm off everyone to get this kid.
But in general,
Hart's our goalie. Do I love him? No, not as much. But I'm not. He's our goalie. I'm not getting rid of him
I
for
don't even
nothing.
know who else is on the team. Like I said, I'm over Coots. I'm over Farabee.
Farabee, Coots.
Reams Dyke.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Stinks.
Lindblom, I'm done with him. Like I'm done with all those guys.
I like Farabee and I like Hayes.
Frost, I don't think has been anything special. Sandheim didn't turn out to what we thought he would be.
No, all
The
these
whole
prospects
team.
that stupid Hextall said we're untradeable and we're going to be the greatest thing since sliced
Right,
bread.
right.
They all blow up.
They haven't produced.
How do you miss like that bad?
I just look back and I'm just
And not just once. But
Mikko Rettinen should have been a flyer. We should have drafted him. We let him go, and now he's out there killing it in Colorado.
Remember all the scouts told Hextall to draft. Makar is can't miss.
Yeah,
stud.
right. We missed him.
And we took. I forget who we took. But
Patrick. Nolan Patrick, right? With the 2 pick.
Yeah, and he's not even in the
He's
league.
not even on the team. I don't even think he's in the league.
It's like pitchers in baseball. Like if you have arm trouble when you're 16, you're gonna have arm trouble when you're 18.
Right.
You're gonna have arm trouble when you're 18.
And that was Nolan Patrick.
Remember
Yeah,
everyone freaked out when we traded Sixto Sanchez?
yeah. He's been nothing.
He's barely pitched. He threw 100 miles an hour in the COVID season like 2 times. Everyone freaked out, and he hasn't pitched since.
Right.
Cool.
He's got great stuff. That's what
Great
they say.
stuff.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. But like it's like hockey players. Like if you develop a concussion issue at 16, you're gonna get concussions.
That's
at
going
18,
to stay with you. Yeah.
You're gonna have a concussion at 20, and your brain is either gonna be mush or you're out of the league by the time you're 25.
Correct.
Especially with all the protocols and everything they have in place, which they should have.
Right.
But like, you can't draft an injury-prone guy already at the second
And expect
pick
him
in the draft.
to change. Yeah.
Now, if you pick a guy that is great and he develops like an injury history, like okay, you can't really,
You can't foresee that. Yeah.
you can't, and it's hard. Like you don't have a crystal ball, so like, it's just. I don't understand why these teams in the city make it as hard as they have to.
It's really, really difficult. I don't understand how. I just feel like Philadelphia teams, all 4 of them, we just miss so much. And it's not a knock on the players that we do take, because we do take some good players, but I just feel like we just miss so much more than every other team. And I think that's what it is when we miss, it's the guy behind us that gets drafted. It's the same position. It's the same player type. And we just took the wrong guy.
But if you're in the Phillies offseason last year, well, I haven't had a good bullpen since 08, and I won the World Series. I should try and get some bullpen guys in here. Oh, I haven't had a good center fielder since Shane Victorino.
Right. There it is.
Maybe I should, outbid this lunatic on the Mets that's just buying everybody.
Right.
And get a center fielder in here.
Everyone was clamoring, we need big bats. We needed a center fielder. We needed a real center fielder. That was the number 1 goal the Phillies should have had coming into this offseason, and we just completely whiffed on it. Pretty much time to wrap up, right?
Man. So what? I wanted to look at the spread tonight for the NBA game.
Yeah, I'll have it.
See if it's a hammer play or not. Brinkman approved hammer play.
Well, I mean, you're all over Boston, right? I'm guessing.
Boston's getting 4 plus 155 on the money line.
I like Golden State tonight.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
just
I like
out
Golden
of
State.
respect for Steph, and he's at home. But if you're thinking about making a bet, and if you watch Game 1, so the Warriors have to make up 15, 16 points from Game 1 to cover that number.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see that happening.
all they have to do is just play a better 12 minutes in the 4th quarter. That's it. They dominated the first 3 quarters. And
I wouldn't say dominate. Boston
dominated.
Boston was never out of the game.
You got outscored by 24 points in the fourth. That doesn't happen.
Cream always rises, Johnny.
That doesn't happen to Golden State usually. That doesn't
They've
happen.
always been the better team. They've never been underdogs in the finals.
Right. And I don't think they're a huge underdog. I do like Boston to win this, but I don't think Golden State's a huge underdog.
They were favored to win the series.
In the beginning of the series, yeah.
Favored. So they've never been underdogs in the finals.
Then I can't sit here and say they should have lost game one or lose tonight. I don't see that. They should have won game one. You had a bad 12 minutes. That's all you had.
Well, basketball games are 48 minutes, not 36 or whatever 12 times 3 is. 36. Right. They're not 36 minutes long. Cream rose. Boston's better. So I got the better team and 4 points and 155 on the money line. How am I not taking that? By the way, Jason Tatum played like garbage.
Yes, he did.
Game one, and they still won by double digits.
Al Horford went off in the fourth.
Because they're a better team. They match up well, and they're the better team.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
But I have to say it a lot because Philadelphia is all over everyone. The whole public's all over the Warriors.
Because they're so unique. There's never been a team in the history of the NBA that does what the Warriors do and win. I mean they're unique.
They were unique.
They're fun to watch.
They are fun to watch. I'll give you that. But, they were unique. Now teams have caught up. Now teams have used the Warrior template.
But no one does it like them still.
Well, because they got
the best shooter ever played the game.
Right. Maybe the best point guard ever when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah, and Klay Thompson is not – he's a top 10 shooter that ever played the game too, probably.
So, yeah, he drafted well, but, Father Time's undefeated.
No, that's true. At some point, they're going to fall.
There's always a hungry lion looking to knock the champ off their perch.
You're right. Yep.
And Boston's just better. They're better coached. They're better – right now, they're a better organization.
They're a better organization. I give you that.
They play better defense. Like I said, Steph is the best player on the floor, but what? 2 through 5 are Celtics.
Yeah, you got Tatum, Brown, Smart.
It's a shame that Klay Thompson had all those injuries, and he's got that baggage attached to him.
Yeah. Oh, they're missing James Wiseman, who I think is a great talent also. He's been out all year. So it's not like the Warriors are bad. So I think they're a good team.
I'm too chicken. I'm not going to bet it because I don't have it as a 5-star hammer play.
Well, we'll have it next week. My bet, I'm taking the Lightning. That's my play this week. Lightning to win the series in 7.
But I picked Boston in 6, and I've seen nothing to deter me from that prediction. In fact, I would even, if anything, I would amend it to Boston in 5 because I thought game one was that overwhelmingly in favor of Boston.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Boston definitely wins this series. Not definitely, but I think they win the series.
Steph, 35, 45, 50 range, I think. Because Klay Thompson's going to get –
He's got to be efficient.
The only guy Boston can't cover is Steph because he's so good.
Right.
Klay's older and injured. Draymond is not the type of player that's going to take over the game. Jordan Poole, they got an answer for. Jordan Poole, they have an answer for. Wiggins, they have an answer for.
That's who I think it is. I think the games that Golden State are going to win, you're going to see Wiggins have a big game. Like tonight, I see Wiggins going for 25 tonight.
Good luck. He might not. I don't know. But anyway, that'll do it for here on the Rant Booth. Thank you to everyone who liked, subscribed, and shared our show. Thank you to Ralphie for producing the show. Thank you to All Campus for hosting us. Come on down. We'll be here all day. 10 o'clock tonight. Get your hats. We'll have the Phillies on. We'll have basketball on at night. Come down, hang out.
Yeah, come watch the game.
Become an A2D member. Get your discount. He's John Coyle. I'm Rob Brinkman.